It was once said that the sun never set on the British Empire. All that's left of the old country and its empire are the 14 British overseas territory spread across the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean. This short movie looks specifically at St. Helena, which shares administration with Ascension Island and Tristan da Cunha in the south. There's currently only one flight a week from one city in the world, and that's from Johannesburg on a Saturday morning, returning the same day. It's a 6-hour flight out and a 4-hour 45-minute flight back. From Johannesburg is a 2-hour flight to Walvis Bay to fill up to allow for any emergency rerouting or flights to Ascension Island. The stark beauty of the desert as one lands tops up and waits for about 45 minutes before setting out over the Atlantic for another 3-hour flight to St. Helena. Once a month, the flight continues to Ascension Island and back, which is about 2 hours in each direction. Passing through the clouds, the island suddenly appears, rising dramatically and vertically, making the volcanic island very difficult to access, leaving it with very few beaches. Of the airport was quite controversial. Finished in 2015, it received its first commercial flights from 2016, and there were complications with wind shear. COVID restrictions added further complications, and flights from Johannesburg only commenced at the end of 2022, although additional flights are planned via Cape Town. It is exciting to arrive on the island, a mixture of dry desert and subtropical vegetation. The biodiversity has been compromised from the first settling of the island by the Portuguese in 1502, who brought fruit trees and vegetables. The Dutch controlled it very briefly, and the British arrived in 1659, never to leave. Later they brought New Zealand flax, which was to be used in the postal industry. The island is about 16 by 8 kilometers, and the roads are extremely windy. One approaches Jamestown from the south, which settles in a deep gully on the north side with its charming Georgian architecture and the main street. Christmas preparations are in full swing, and the Consulate Hotel, run by the inimitable Hazel Wilmot, provide a venue to watch the 2022 World Cup under the gaze of Napoleon, who ensured that the French beat the English. There are 21 post-box walks on the island, ranging from fairly easy to quite difficult. Sunday morning, the town is deserted as we wait for Edward Thorpe to take us on one of his renowned Sunday walks, this time to Lemon Valley. Well worth doing any of them if you have the chance. The 699 steps of Jacob's Ladder are closed for renovation. Not sure when they'll open again. So we drove the steep and windy western slope through Half Tree Hollow and parked at Rosebery Plain and set off down the ascent, which was considerably worse upon return. Another inspiring walk is that of Lot's Wife's Ponds. One needs to drive the southern portion in and out along the windy roads and eventually parking your car in the Sandy Bay district. It's a strenuous walk, passing the gates of chaos, especially in the sun, so plan your day. Daily poring over plans and pouring of wine led us next to Napoleon's grave. Brought by the English in 1815, he died in 1821, with his body being returned to head office 20 years later. The sarcophagus setting remains very tranquil. Back in town, the library is well stocked, and there are 2 video libraries as well, the upshot of a weak internet connection. We used the opportunity to explore the archive, which has seen neither flood nor fire, and we find Monica's ancestor, Daniel Lappin, who died in 1861 from delirium tremens. At 818 meters, Diana's Peak is the highest point on the island. Whether you visit on an atmospheric misty day or an inspiring clear day, which allows views over almost the entire island, including the airport, you will visit more than once. In addition to Napoleon, the British incarcerated the Zulu chief, Dinizulu, and his retinue. He at least made it back. There was also the 6,000 Boers captured during the Second South African War. 180 of them died and are buried in 2 graveyards, one for the Transvaal Republic and one for the Orange Free State Republic. The small but potent St. Helena Museum at the base of Jacob's Ladder packs information from the last 500 years. Meanwhile, outside, the Christmas celebrations continue. Our last walk was the Southwest Walk, starting with a drive along the Central Spine, parking the car and then walking the last couple of kilometers to catch the last pieces of the jigsaw puzzle which had been captured from the island seen from different angles. Final swing past Longwood House, Napoleon's house, and then back to the dramatic runway that had brought us a week earlier. I'm planning a return visit.